Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sherrard Show. I'm your host, Sherrard. Happy Friday to you, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a very, very special show. This evening, we're going to be talking to two artists as well as actors who have created a song, a beautiful song that is absolutely incredible, that is trending, and we're going to be talking to them today on the show. The two Richards, Mr. Richard Rodwell and then Richard Morpheus Walters, first time on the Sherrard Show all the way in Toronto. But before we get to these gentlemen, the Sherrod Show is brought to you by the Pure Essence Television Network, where you can see some of the greatest episodes now trending, from The Temptations to Joe Montega to Barbara Streisand to Michael Collier. They're all on the Pure Essence Television Network. Just click the link there on your monitor. You can download it to your phone as well as to your television set. It's also brought to you by iHeartRadio. If you missed this broadcast on television, you can also listen to it on iHeartRadio. And then lastly, it's brought to you by my Rah Shoe Collection, the limited edition shoe brand where every $1 goes to the fight for the cure for lupus. Well, ladies and gentlemen, when you think about theme songs, you oftentimes think about Curtis Mayfield, Lionel Richie, as well as Teddy Pendergrass. But these gentlemen have come up with a theme song to wake up black consciousness, and they're going to talk about it today on the Sherrod Show. An incredible song. The gentlemen themselves, Mr. Richard Wadwell, as well as Richard Morpheus Walters. Gentlemen, welcome to the Sherrod Show. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Living the life, doing great. Blessed to be here.
Very good. And you, Morpheus?
Yes, likewise. It's a privilege, it's an honor. Being able, this is actually my first ever time that I would have a song that I've written having like an interview like this before. So this is a very monumental moment for me. So I appreciate it. Very thankful.
We appreciate you two gentlemen stopping by on the show. Now we'll start off with you, Mr. Rodwell. How did you two connect and be able to put together this hit song, Was It All for Nothing?
Wow. Where do I start? Well, I was invited to a songwriting competition. There's something called Imsta Festa, which is an organization, a software organization that promotes software and different things. And a gentleman invited me to be a judge on a song competition. And so I said, okay, sure. And I was at the competition and listening to all these people bring me their songs. They're like, oh, you listen to this, listen to that, and I'd give the critique. And along comes Morpheus, and he played me a song, and the song was pretty good. It was okay. And then I gave him some critique, like, hey, why don't you make the verse a little longer? The chorus should be, maybe add some strings. There's some sort of technical stuff. And I tell everybody this story because, he took my critique and he got up and he said, thank you very much. And he walked away. And there was just the way that he walked away, just his body language alone told me it called out to me. It's like, hey, whatever you say, I'm gonna be a star. Whatever you tell me, I'm gonna be a star. And I just picked up on that, and the songwriting thing finished, and then I went home and I was like, man, I didn't even get that guy's number. I should. And so then I looked him down on Instagram, and I'm like, man, I really wanted, because he really left an impression on me. So, anyways, I called him and I'm like, hey, and so we connected. And then this particular song, how it came about was I'd actually created this song for myself. So I've got another song on the internet called All Done, and it's the exact same music, but it's a totally different spin. It's, my song, my lyrics, everything. And I played it for Morpheus, and he's like, I have that music. I have to write to that song. I have to write to that song. Let me write to that. And so I send him the track, and he wrote to it, sent it back to me, and I was blown away with the depth and the writing and the performance. His voice is amazing, and the harmonies and everything, and the lyrical content is just so profound. And so I said, hey, this sounds really, really good. And it was timely because it's Black History Month. So I was like, okay, let's let's push this a little bit. Let's do some interviews and, push the song a bit. And here we are.
Very good. Now, Morpheus, what was it like for you to receive the critique from Richard? And what was then going through your mind when he gave you the suggestions?
Yes, no, I pride myself on being a student of the game. I've always have. I also, it's a fine balance between having confidence in your own ability, but then also being ready to hear from somebody that's been doing this for years, that is a Hall of Fame inductee for songwriting. I came here to learn and to get those critiques anyways. So I was fully prepared for that. And when I was hearing it, everything resonated. It was needed too, because there were some of the songs where I wasn't fully sure. Every artist goes through that where you write something and you feel good about it, but there's still like it'd be nice to hear something from somebody who has that experience and get their unbiased take on it. And I found it very, very important to hear that. But at the same time, I take a lot of pride in that story because I really, 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 and even the name Morpheus comes from Greek mythology for the god of dreams. And the reason why I chose that name is because I dream big, and I'm always gunning for my goals, always trying to reach for it as much as possible. And I truly live that and embody that proudly. So the fact that Rich saw that in my physicality, my aura, if you will, thanking him for his critique and walking off, I literally I was already ready to take on whatever was next on that day that they were providing for artists, and I'm like, all right, perfect. I got that experience. I can run with that and apply it to my next songs. So again, it was just very informative to hear what I wanted to hear from my songs that I presented to him. Um, but then again, I when he reached out, I was like, oh my goodness, wait a minute, I've made an impression. And right then and there, I'm like, okay, okay, I got to go with this. There's something about this. And as Rich explained, when he sent me that composition, I promise you, it was a lightning bolt of just excitement, creativity, and more excitement. It was like I have to write to this song, and I pleaded to him. I texted him. I'm like, please, if it's okay, because I already knew he worked on the song already, so I wanted to respect his artistry as well. But I'm like, please, there's something about this that I got to work on, and then here we are today.
Very good. Now, and still continuing with you, Morpheus. So, how has your
Yeah.
life changed from this song?
It it has changed in the sense of when you get hit with a magical, I don't even know what word to use. It's just a magical moment. I'll use the word moment where the artist connects with the music and how precious and how amazing that feeling is. I want to continue to feel that. And I felt it before, but arguably not as strong as this, because I would do it on my own where I'm looking for beats or creating my own, but receiving it from another person like that and it hitting the way that it did, it really it really certified why I do what I do, loving doing what I do, allowing me to be vulnerable and open when it comes to writing my music and the things that I'm passionate about, right? So it just continued to tell me that, all right, what you're doing is definitely for you. You're meant to be doing this. And that's what this song and this experience really helped to just really prove and solidify, I would say.
Very good. Now we're going to kick it to you, Richard. Now Richard Rodwell. Now, that Morpheus was mentioning to it, and it is true. You are inducted into the Canadian Hall of Fame as a songwriter. Big congratulations to you. Now, what does it feel to be an inductee of song for songwriting?
It's life-changing. It really is. It's the highest honor. For me, this is bigger than an Oscar. This is bigger than a Juno, or that's the Canadian Oscars. This is bigger than a Grammy. This is the Hall of Fame. And in a country of predominantly Caucasian folk, um, it's really humbling to be inducted. As far as I counted on the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame website, there's a lot of bands. There's we're talking about Bryan Adams and Rush and Alanis Morissette and David Foster and Murray McLaughlin and Joni Mitchell, and these are icons of the music scene. And I counted, I could be wrong, but there's 4 Black people that have been inducted. Myself, the guy who was on stage with me, King Lou from the Dream Warriors, and 2 other people, a guy called Maestro Fresh West and another lady by the name of Deborah Cox. Now, I could be wrong, but those are the ratios we're talking about. So, I mean, it's life changing. For me, it's like once my physical body now leaves the earth, once I'm gone, once this is done, then my legacy and what I've done and the Hall of Fame and the trophy in Calgary, where that stays forever. So my
Big
mission
congrats,
now.
big congrats to you. For those who are just tuning in, we're speaking to singer, songwriter, artist, Mr. Richard Rodwell, as well as artist and actor, Mr. Richard Morpheus Walters on the Sherrod Show. We'll be taking your questions momentarily, but I got a question for both of you all. First of all, I'll start with you, Mr. Rodwell. What do you enjoy more, being on the acting side of things or the music side of things?
Mr. Walters, he's the actor, yeah.
I'm sorry, Mr. Walters, we'll kick it to you.
Yes. Oh my goodness. That's a tough one. I've been going back and forth with this for years, but I will say my heart and my overall ambition is definitely to being a recording artist, being able to be on stage and performing for people. Even though easily I love being in front of the camera, that's without question. I've been blessed in so many ways to have experienced this for 15 years and counting. I started at a young age, and I was able to continue on, and it's brought in a lot of opportunities, this one included in a way, because without the exposure of my acting career, it wouldn't have funded my musical passion, right? So they go hand in hand for sure, but I would definitely say that it's definitely music for me.
Very good. Now, is it harder to do music in Canada, or is it than in the States, or is it harder?
I would definitely say it's harder here. Reason being is that I haven't had the opportunity yet, which I will be, but I haven't had the opportunity yet to venture in the States. I want to see all the different artists that are out there, the inspiration that I can get out there, the exposure, the infrastructure here, specifically in Toronto, has been something that so many fellow artists have had. To say concerns isn't really the right word. I'll just like things that they would vent about. Like there's not enough structure for us to really succeed and branch out as much as we'd like to, unfortunately, even though we have so much talent here. But again, artists in my position and even artists above me, they've been all telling me, unfortunately, you got to step outside of Toronto. You got to step outside of Canada and show people who you are, whether it's Europe, whether it's the States. You got to go. So I would say it's harder here music wise, whereas film, it's booming on the other hand. So at least I have that bit of a balance. Yeah.
Very good. Now, Mr. Rodwell, what would you say? Do you feel that Was It All for Nothing? Do you feel that's an anthem? Like, for example, with What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, or Curtis Mayfield, some of his big ones. Do you feel that that's an anthem song?
I do. That's a great question. I think it's definitely it's a conscious awakening song. I think it's a song that will stir debate, stir questions, stir deep thoughts into your own self. Um, I think I don't know if an anthem is the right word, but I know it's a very thought-provoking song that will really make you think and really search deep into yourself, as for answers and to the question, because the song is a question. Was it all for nothing? It's a question. So some people are going to say no, and some people are going to say yes. Hopefully people say no, but it's at the end of the day, it's a question. It's a thought-provoking question.
Very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break, come up for some air, and we come back. We're going to have more with the gentlemen themselves, Mr. Rodwell and Mr. Walters, right after this.
Here's an important message from the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. Call the US Med Diabetes Solutions Center to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. If you have Medicare or private insurance, call to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. US Med is the #1 rated supplier on Google and Facebook reviews. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. US Med. Better service. Better care.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherrod Show. I'm your host, Sherrod, for a very special Friday conversation with two very gifted gentlemen. One is he's in the Hall of Fame in Canada, inducted as a songwriter, Mr. Richard Rodwell, and then the incredibly talented vocalist as well as actor, Mr. Richard Morpheus Walters. We're talking about their hit song, Was It All for Nothing? But also we're talking about you have something coming that you can't really share, but you're going to be putting your acting chops back to work. What is it, Morpheus?
Yes. So shout out to everyone watching. I'm building off of the momentum of being on another show, a hit show that a lot of people are calling the show of 2025, which is an honor and a privilege and a blessing to be a part of. That was it. Welcome to Derry. I was on that show, which is HBO, which was huge, and the reception, the fan base, incredible. And the beauty of it is that I have another show that's coming in this year in spring, that I can't say what it is yet, but you will be definitely seeing me on the airwaves very, very soon. And I'm very excited for everyone to see it. Yeah, just beyond thankful.
Very good. Now, are you going on tour for this song, this hit song?
Right now, there's been that it wasn't planned, but ironically, because it's Black History Month, we have in Canada over here, we've had a multiple of events, countless, and I've been so fortunate to be invited to perform at a lot of these events. So it's been like a cool local tour where I've been able to perform the song multiple times. I was able to perform in front of the mayor of Markham, the York Region Police, a whole bunch of amazing people, even a lot of the young ones too that came and are part of charitable organizations and stuff. And the constant theme every time they heard the song, I performed it at least 3 times now, and I'm gearing up for another one next week. That they're taking in the song. It's not a matter of just listening to it play. They're really feeling it. They're taking something away from it. And that has been beyond a privilege for me as an artist to listen and hear the critique, not the critiques, but just the overwhelming responses from it, from performing. So I'm blessed to say that. Yeah.
Very good. Now, Richard, Mr. Rodwell, what song do you feel or songs touched the world so much that they inducted you in the Hall of Fame?
Well, I worked on a group called the Dream Warriors back in 1991. So we were inducted for the song My Definition of a Boombastic Jazz Style, which is a rap song that was on the album And Now the Legacy Begins by the Dream Warriors. We were signed to Island Records, and we did a whole 6-week tour across Europe. We were top 10 all across Europe. So the Dream Warriors blew up. They are the first rap group, hip hop group in Canada to go international. And so it was that song that was inducted into the Hall of Fame. But as myself and Louis Robinson wrote the song, we were inducted for the song.
Very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the questions are lining up for you gentlemen, so it's time to take a few questions. This question is from Daphne. She's from Daphne. She's all the way from Madrid, Spain. She said, this question is for you, Richard, Mr. Walters. Her question is, are you coming to Spain to perform the song? One thing, and where can the song be purchased? Very good.
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you for the question. I'm honored. I would personally, interest-wise, I would love to go to Spain. It is not currently in the plans yet, but that doesn't mean it'll never happen. I can promise you that. Where can you get the song? It's on every streaming platform. Of course, the go-to would be Spotify or Apple Music. You can check out the lyric video that we have on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, on Rich's YouTube channel as well. So you can tune in on any and every platform. It's there for you.
Thank you so much for your question, Daphne. I appreciate your response, Mr. Walter. This one is from you, Mr. Rodwell. This one is from Mr. Lillard, all the way in Chicago, Illinois. His question to you is, are you currently looking for artists to sign, or are you a label or just a songwriter?
I'm just a songwriter. I'm not a label. I don't run a label. I'm not a manager. I just create music. That's all I do is create music, for artists and also for television. Mostly for TV. I'm not really doing the artist thing that much. Richard Walters fell into my space, and here we are. And it's so organic and it's so beautiful. So I'm just going with that, and I really think that the two of us are going to create some really big things.
Very good. We appreciate that. We have time for one more question. This is from Sarah. She's all the way from Germany. Wow. Her question is for both of you. Her first question, we'll start with you, Mr. Rodwell, is what is one of the most challenging things being a songwriter?
One of the most challenging things is being being current, and for me as a musician, I'm using a program called Logic Pro. So I have a computer and I play everything in, and I select different instruments like strings and horns, and I put it all together. But one of the most challenging things sometimes is you have something in your head and you're like, oh, this is amazing. Oh, I can't wait to lay this down. This is going to sound wicked. And it sounds great in your head, but by the time you put it together, then it's like, not so much. Okay, scrap. Let's start a new one. So sometimes that's a challenge, is translating what's in your head into a tangible format so that it sounds good as well.
Very good. Very. Now continue on with the question for you, Mr. Walters. Her question is, what inspires you to be a singer, and what's some of the downfalls of being a singer?
Okay. What inspired me, or inspires me to do music, it all started with the King of Pop and Michael Jackson, watching him and seeing the magic that he creates on stage. At a young age, I was watching him and I was mesmerized. And I always said that I wanted to be able to create that feeling for somebody else. And just overall, the magic, I'm using that word so much because it's true. That feeling that you get when you're on stage and you're receiving that energy from the audience and you're feeling them as happy as you are, or joyful as you are, or on the same wavelength. That is one of the most incredible feelings. And knowing that when you perform and you're affecting somebody in a way that positively influences their life, it's there's nothing like it. There's absolutely nothing like it, right? So that in its core, and just being like, when you're born into something, you feel it. It's something that you just feel, and that's what drives me. But in regards to the downfalls, this one's interesting. The downfalls is a couple of things. Number one, there's so many other artists out there that have so much great things to offer as well. So you have to figure out, how do you make yourself different? How do you make yourself wanted and more authentic, or staying authentic and trusting that will be enough? But then also, there's a lot of no's. You hear a lot of no's than yeses. But I've learned over the years that those no's or obstacles are actually a part of the process, and it helps you to grow and learn along the way. So that's what I'll say to that.
Very good. We really appreciate those questions from you all, and as well as the answers from our two guests. Now, Richard, Mr. Walters, where can they reach out to you for questions or further questions, as well as to keep up what you have going on?
Yes, the best thing for me is Instagram at Morpheus Richards. That's where I have all my more so. That's where I communicate the most with listeners that want to hear, or fans who I'm blessed to have, and fellow artists, whatever the case may be. I would say Instagram is the best way to reach me.
Very good. And you, Mr. Rodwell?
I have two. So my website is richardrodwell.com. Pretty straightforward, simple. That's good. And also Instagram, Richard_Rodwell.
Very good. Now, Mr. Rodwell, any final thoughts?
Final thoughts is, we hope everybody hears the song. We hope that it resonates with you. And we look forward to everybody's feedback. Feel free to reach out to me at any time. And that's it.
Thank you. And Morpheus, any final thoughts for you?
Yes, just thank you for the platform, giving us the opportunity to even be here and interact with not only yourself, but the many viewers that are watching all over, and then thank you for being so open. Just everyone who had the chance to listen to the song, being open to our story, to our culture, to our people, and moving forward at the same time. So it's a privilege. Thank you.
Morpheus and Rodwell, really appreciate you all stopping by on the show, and I'm extending you an opportunity to come out to the Sherrod Show. Please perform the song in our Los Angeles studios. Millions of people want to see it live. You just let us know when, and we can make it happen so you can come on out here. We would love to have you and introduce you to the States.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
We really
That's wonderful.
appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Randy.
And thank you so much for stopping on the show. And before we close, on sad news, we lost a legend today, Mr. Neil Sedaka, the man who sang Laughter in the Rain. He sang some more beautiful songs. He was part of the 50s doo-wop as well as in the 60s. He will be missed. He was 86 years old. Well, ladies and gentlemen, join us on our next episode of The Sherrod Show, where we are live at the Oscars party. And you don't want to miss it. Sherrod Show's live on location. We'll be doing some great interviews. The Soulsters will be there, and then also Frida Payne and so many others. Join us on The Sherrod Show, and make sure you keep it locked here on Pure Essence Television Network, as well as Airy TV and iHeartRadio. And always remember, ladies and gentlemen, the best way to get back on your feet is the mystery car payments. I'm Sherrod. See you next time. Bye now.